Hello again, Andy with Handy Andy, and we are out today in Brookhaven taking a run through for some quick repairs and then a few things that we just noted. If you've got pressure treated railings like this, you got to keep them stained up. So when they get dry like this, the borer bees come, and then right behind them come the woodpeckers. And that's kind of what's going on up here on this post, on this column right here. You can see the upper corner right there. Woodpecker's been going in and out of there. So we can plug that hole, clean up and restain this stuff. On houses like this, it's so hard. People don't necessarily want to bite the bullet and repaint the whole house. So we try to encourage customers to do is come in and paint one side at a time. Some things we can do when the guys are out, like in here, whenever you're on your house, you want to look for the open black. Any black on your house is bad. It's either an open caulk line right here where the water's getting in every time it rains, to an open butt joint on the siding. And all these things are going to add up over time to rot and water getting in. So like here's a perfect example of, they plugged a hole here, probably the exterminator guys. This had borer bee damage originally. And because they don't back prime and seal the wood, you see these little holes right here are the nails that they never caulked. Builders build beautiful houses like this and they just don't do the work properly because they can't, in their eyes, can't afford to hire the right contractors to do it, so they go with the cheapest guys. So this wood has only been painted on what you see. So like this fascia right here is only painted on the face and maybe a little on the edge and no caulk in here. So once the water gets in, this is raw wood behind it going in both ways. And it's already been repaired once, I think. There's a joint right here where someone fixed this corner before, and probably right when these folks bought the house. And now it needs to be redone again. So with a lot of customers, we'll go ahead and budget to paint one side of the house at a time. And then if you've got corbels like this and you've got some architectural details with cedar or pressure treated, you just want to keep that stuff stained up. And if you do that and you do it on a schedule where you say, I'm going to hit the house one side every year. A lot of our customers do it when they get their tax refund every year. They call us to come out and do something versus coming in here and doing the whole job at one time. This way you keep up on it. You always have somebody like us, eyes and ears on the house, and nothing gets out of hand. And on this house, again, when you're looking like at the right side, it's hard in the sun right here. She had a bunch of damage up on this chimney, but if you look, you'll see all the black. It lets you know like this caulk line is failing on this corner board right here. And that's partially what caused this damage on the chimney up here. And then the woodpeckers came behind it. The woodpeckers hear insect activity, and then they get curious and then they realize, oh, this chimney is really a dead tree and they can make a house in there. So she's got some rot on the corner boards and on the band boards on this thing. And again, part of it is because the builders and painters only paint what they see. It goes around to the right side right here, this whole corner. So we replace this corner, the two corner boards here on the right side on the face of it. We'll back prime and seal, which means like if you're looking at your phone, we're actually sealing all 6 faces of the wood just like your phone would be. So it's a real easy visual. It's a beautiful house. So if you're able to catch up on it that way, and it's just little stuff. The cool thing about us is if you can be patient with us. This year's been terrible for me personally. My mom has been very ill, and it's just been a mess for me because I'm now her primary caretaker, and I'm trying to run this business plus take care of my son. And you try doing that as a single dad, God bless you, but we do it here. So just bear with us. We know what we're doing. We got a crew of 20 to 30 depending on what we're doing. In the shade, you can see this a little bit more. But all these board and battens right here all need to be caulked and sealed or they'll rot out. When you come around the right side right here, now the sun is off it. This nose right here, see the wrinkle in this nose, the bottom piece right here. So you see that, you know it's rotted. So we can replace that. This window right here is just peeling. Both windows need to be prepped and cleaned and repainted. And I might start on this side if I were the homeowner, just because again, as you look at the corner board right through here and you see the butt joints in the siding, look for those black lines in there. See it just below the window, 3-4 boards down below the window. That butt joint is wide open. And down in the corner, it's hard for me to get into it, but get over here so you can see. It's the areas that you don't really see as a homeowner, like here. The caulk failed up here. When we come down around this corner right here, this whole corner board is rotten wide open right there. See it? So you see that wrinkling in it, it lets you know that you've got a problem. This area back here, when it comes time to paint the house, we'll add a mildew side to the paint They just don't get enough sun back here. And so we just want to keep it clean and nice. But the whole house really needs to be recaulked. A lot of the windows, if you look at the window detail on this window by the HVAC, see the bottom edge of the brick mold on the left and right side? It was never caulked, and it's the same way on the back of the house. And I would imagine that most of the windows are that way. So just taking the time to come back and do it now. The guys can caulk some of that stuff up while we're here. You just want them to wipe it down first, because if they don't, you're gonna trap mold, which is what's happened here. See that black line up against the brick mold of that window? That's because they caulked it, they didn't clean it first, and mold is anaerobic, so once it gets inside, underneath that caulk, you gave it a Hotel 6. This piece right here is just starting to rot. We can caulk it and save it. And partially that's happening again as you look at these two corner boards right here. See that black line? I know it sounds dumb. A lot of you are watching this and shaking your heads. I get calls all the time, like, especially from northern folks. They watch these videos and say, you know, what is it in the South? Like, everybody up here would caulk that. Well, not anymore. You have to bear in mind that half the people that do what we do are druggies and alcoholics, and they're out here just piecing together a few hours of work to live. They're not doing quality work, and they know you're never going to call them back. It's really rare in Atlanta to find someone. So if you have someone you trust and you've been working with them for a few years, save our name and number as a backup and take good care of them and keep them, because that's a real challenge in Atlanta. We spend half of our time redoing work that other people have done, and that's terrible. But we're a good group to know. We work with a lot of real estate agents, a lot of inspection repairs, but we do everything from water extrusion, drainage projects, gutters, carpentry, you know, and stuff like this. Builders do this all the time. See this corrugated pipe right here? It runs underground. It's gonna clog, it's gonna cause trouble. This should be a 4-inch PVC pipe. And they've already had trouble before, which is why someone broke it away from the downspout and ran this through this way. You never wanna put corrugated pipe underground. It's gonna clog. We get at least 2 or 3 calls a week on just that issue alone. And some of these houses, I mean, this is $1 million house. So it's not like they're cheap houses or they're customers that don't wanna pay for their work. It's not that at all. We have a customer not far from here right now who did a $200,000 addition and has had nothing but trouble with it. We are not geared up to do that kind of thing, or we would have done it for him. But this is a beautiful house, and it's a pleasure to come out and work on something like this. But anything from handyman to full house remodel, we do it. Just be patient with us. We have a separate division now just to do the little stuff, because I just can't get out to see everything anymore. But again, I'm Andy with HandyANdy. You can reach us in the office, or you can get me sometimes directly at 770-265-9017. See you at the next house. Bye for now.